Well, hello to whomever is able to receive these words in this stream, real time or no, without any announcement, because I am an individual that lacks structure, planning. These are my flaws. I'm a man of impulse. I jump on and get to it, and it is proven to be something that can hurt me, but I will continue to try and be a better version of me. I have an opinion that I've been thinking on quite a bit, something that's just been on my mind. Hey, Warrior Mom, you know what? I am specifically and especially glad that you're here. I think this might be a helpful topic for a lot of you. Millbilly, Cindy, D, my son's life mattered, and to whomever, I'm gonna kind of go on a freestyle here. And I have to give a warning. I'm not even bother getting this bitch monetized. So pardon my French, my motherfucking French. I'm gonna speak very plainly and candidly here. And Millbilly, man, just you know, real talk. Thank you for sticking around as long as you have, and you've always been chill. I remember the last comment I've read of yours is that you had some content and a documentary used it. I'd like to know more about that. It's all right. Hey, Queen, darling girl. I'm gonna dig right in. I guess I'm gonna just come out swinging. And there was some individuals at some point far enough ago that when I would talk about my depression or my do I even care about the code words? Here's what was bothering me about censorship, real quick, before I continue on. Okay, how about I say this, YouTube and Facebook and every popular platform that they've invited us to come and speak our piece in our mind and execute our freedoms under their terms. And so we have to concede. But what if, YouTube, I needed to speak bluntly without worrying about my P's and Q's, about my depression, about how, sadly, the thoughts that are a relief and bring me some fleeting morbid sense of joy just so happens to be me imagining blowing my fucking head off. How about that? Yeah. And then, if you say that on Facebook and or on YouTube, that's enough to maybe have the video removed, right? So I even saw today on Facebook somebody posted this was a mother, an innocent picture of her two sons, right? Her two sons, and she wrote as the title "Brotherly Love." It was an innocent picture of her kids, her two boys. They didn't have a shirt on. The Facebook literally banned her, said it was inappropriate, and it violated the community terms of service. And now taking that further, what about people that want to say just what they have to say because they truly believe it is something that needs to get off of their chest? And what if, for whatever reason, that censorship prevents them from saying what needs to be said and heard so that the help they need can actually find their way to us when we are in need. You know how annoying it is to have to, I mean, for one, speaking candidly and bluntly about depression when you're going through it, about suicidal ideation. Okay, that is something I wish it wasn't a thing. I'm proud and I'm happy to say nobody here has to worry about me making any stupid and rash decisions. I promise you. Okay? Thankfully, I can give this guarantee without a doubt. My family needs me, and I will be here for my family. And I can only hope that things start to get better along the way. I will not take any chances with that. And I'm not selfish enough to do something. So, the permanent solution to the temporary problem. But when we're in it, it feels like eternity. It feels like we have fallen into the abyss. And we've looked into the abyss and it's looked right back in us, into our eyes, and it's like a symbiote, like a parasite that eats you away and covers you entirely, and you're just inside locked in this shell. That's what it feels like. We need to be able to express ourselves to the fullest. And it's sad to me that these mainstream platforms, especially YouTube, where I would assume it has the largest reach, it's still the most popular for now, unfortunately. And I just wonder, YouTube, and I'm not going to pretend to think that there's any manual person that will review any of these videos, but who knows, since I'm talking about such a sensitive topic and I'm using words like suicide, and this is an educational purpose video, educational and mental health help. We cannot have the concern about saying certain things that might be construed as what, offensive. I don't understand the stance. No, I don't imagine anybody glorifying unaliving, self unaliving, these ridiculous code words. It's an insult to our constitutional right, our free speech. I am tired of the people that simp for the platforms when it's the voice and the people that we're supposed to be advocating for. What we YouTube has seen to it to get in the middle and get in the way, not mediate, but to impact the way that we can reach out to one another. And I hope YouTube one day sees to it to rectify this problem, because depression is the silent killer. It is in there lingering. It is slowly eating away from the inside out, and we try because we've been trained to tell the people we love the most that we're okay. We become professional liars, and being censored along the way, it does not help in any shape or form. It makes me wonder how many people have tried to say things only to find maybe their video was removed. Maybe that was like their last lifeline. So I say, how dare you to every platform that gets involved in getting in between one person and their voice and what they want to share with everyone and taking that power away. Shame on you, YouTube and Facebook. There's no understanding when you use bots or the automation system of flagging content. There's nobody looking into the context of what we're trying to share. So yes, personally, what alarms me that I wish I could change about myself, and forgive me right now, I just want to go on my tangent and then I'm going to check the comments. And I know that this unifies us when we feel sad, when we are depressed. We all feel that same sorrow and pain. I know this knows no age. There's no limitation within age, creed, anything, race. We all feel pain in a very similar fashion, in just the same way. Myself at 38 going on 39, to a friend of mine that may be in their 70s, to a friend of mine that might still, to anybody that I know, or God forbid, my niece and nephew that are in school. All of us feel a pain that we want to hide. And so what I was alluding to, oh, and I mentioned this way earlier, there was a couple of sick individuals that I remember they came on here and they were saying, just do it already. Jesus, all I have to say to that is that, again, when it comes to people that come on just to show hate, that's saying more about them than they could ever say. uh, to try and show the character, the contents of their character, or any criticisms they have of you or me. It just speaks in volumes. If you're the type of person that's seeing someone that is trying to articulate, and depression, it's okay to acknowledge it is an illness. It can be a chemical imbalance. It could be a very traumatic event, and it won't just go away. It is not something that we can operate like a light switch. It's something we have to learn to cope with. It's something it's the most unpleasant dance partner ever. We have to learn to carry it with us and not let the weight just completely shut us down and lock us in place. Moving around a lot, I've learned helps. And now finally, the thing that I'm always reluctant to say, and I've said it already once, I don't understand. When I was, drinking heavily, even when I was drunk, I would think about the ultimate unalive, taking a piece and then, click, click, boom. And then I get in my puppy dog phase of being cold turkey sober and feeling great and healthy. Testosterone treatment, is something I've been receiving, and that has been a great help. But the puppy phase is over, and now again, see, I went from living in a place in Florida that was much more active, and I knew everybody, and I knew where everything was. As a matter of fact, I have I'll show you guys this letter. I threw a huge party in my trailer when I lived in the part of Florida that I did, and I kept it. I kept it. Let me turn the light on. Let me find it. This little paper and see all these signatures. A bunch of ladies back when I was, a stud. Let me see. Oh goodness. Come on, light, activate. Bear with me. Bear with me because I do want to show you guys this page. The camera's gonna go on. And hello, Shamrock, Warrior Mom, Angry Conservative, Ducks, Queen. Anybody that I've missed? Oh wow. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna flip the camera here. No, yeah, okay. Well, check this out. I can't flip the camera. Let's see. So a bunch of people signed. Just let me see what it says. I haven't read this thing in a very long time. Shar, oh my God. Shar, you have fun at the new place. XOXO, some homie named Jeff. Thanks for the fun, Eli. Davey won't be the same without you. Thanks for the doubles. Haley, hearts. Davey will not be the same without you. We'll miss you. Matt, my boy John, we're here, bro. He moved to Orlando, got his own place. Roses are red, violets are blue. I suck at poems. Send me nudes. That's classy. That's from my old friend Lauren. Sadly though, good luck. And then Yoshi. Ah, see, to me, this is memories, and this is something sadly, not immaturely, right? I just miss, even though I'm at an age where I have to get used to what I have to to cope with what is present. I have to be more proactive and get involved with a group or something because finding a social life is not as easy. Where I was, we were all partiers, and now I'm not a partier again, and I have to find something else. I'm thankful for actions, not distractions, Justin. I'm super, super thankful for I copy and pasted something. I was going to do a tribute to Queen Survivor. She has been a foundation, a pillar of strength for me, a nurturing force that I don't I don't know that this channel would not be standing this long. It would not be here right now if it wasn't for Queen Survivor. Period. And if it wasn't for actions, not distractions, Justin. If it wasn't for Shamrock for following me from stuck in the middle and Slim Reaper, who's not here right now. Just there, I mean, Maxwell, but truly though, I mean, Queen, she knows. I don't even have to address it super publicly, but I can't thank you enough, Queen. Truly. Oh, and Shamrock, there is a place called Nine Muses around here, but unfortunately, it is a place that it focuses on mental health, but not to sound all fucked up here. Just gonna speak plainly. I wish I could always speak plainly. The people there are, various forms of illness or into how do I put this? intellectually challenged, you know what I mean? So the majority of the people there, I couldn't even maintain a conversation, you know. So and there was few and far between people there that I am able to have just a very intelligent conversation with. So I'd find myself being more of a volunteer, and maybe I could keep going there, or I should keep going there, but I need the help too. I do enjoy the, you know, I did seriously consider when I was bedridden to finding another job where I felt I was doing something more than just being a guy that sells booze. And you know, I'd have my moments where I could play therapist. People come in crying, and I'll take as much time as I can and get their whole, you know, life story. They'll spill all the tea about everything that's gone wrong in their life, and there's only so much I can do. And maybe I'll come to the conclusion the last thing these folks need is a bottle of booze, but I'm not in any position where I can tell them, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this tonight. I do wish I could be in a more service role where I could feel like I'm contributing to people. And you know, the reason I wanted to go work in a funeral home is because I wanted to help families cope with loss. The reason I want to go into um, any form of psychiatric care or recovery is because I empathize so much with the pain that we all know too well, with addiction and with loss and with everything that comes in the bag, anxiety and trying to cope and get over it. I don't know if it's something you can truly get over. I have realized with the super clarity, what I call it, when I've went through this crazy detox where I'm still, you know, juicing and vegetables, eating healthier, no soda and all that. There is a vulnerability that I feel. It's in my body. It's a crazy sensation. Feels like sometimes that there is a non-existent body made of energy inside of my flesh bag that just wants to jump out. And I'm sure we can all empathize with wanting to jump out of our own skin from time to time. But something that I notice that helps me every time, never fails, and it's frustrating. On my days off, you know, if I don't drive myself to get something done, you know, I it ends up hurting me. But when I have to get back to the work grind, as much as I don't want to do it, I always get sharper because I'm distracted from any of the issues and demons that are in my mind. Another depressing thing is I often find more joy in dreaming, and I'll often try to go back to sleep. This is something that was everyday occurrence, every day for months and months and months, or a couple of years. When I was drinking actively, in the mornings, if I woke up, I would force myself to stay in bed and only get up when I had to, with 30 minutes left on the clock to get to work. That was miserable. I felt like there was no life being lived there. And now, even still, unfortunately, my dreams are even richer now that there's nothing clouding my mind, and there's always people from my past, and I don't want those dreams to end. So waking up sometimes is the nightmare. So all right, I got a lot off my chest here with all this. Hey, D Libby, hey sweetheart, you're another one. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I watched Eli and realized that God put me around people. Well, I'm glad you feel that camaraderie here. Sincerely, AC. I'm glad that we are all here. Okay, and you know something I recognized before I kind of ghosted and went all, you know, got all bedridden and then got on the health train here. I noticed when I was somehow able, this is what really gets me. I don't have a full understanding. I When I was the drinker, somehow I was able to force the live streams, and I was getting to a point where it was every night almost. And you know, the crowd was getting pretty good, which is a sign of progress. And I think it's that consistency, obviously, It was obviously helping the channel, and it's just a good sign, right? It meant growth, and I always feel like I'm selling everybody short when I drop off. But I know in my heart that all of the real ones, which is every single one of you, but all of the people that are here for the right reasons, that understand the things that I'm always trying to accomplish here, which is a mixed bag, but it's the truth, transparency, sharing sharing every opinion that could be controversial. And now maybe I'll forget everything I wanted to say from that point on, because I started thinking of other things that I shared on Facebook. See, I deviate. So forgive the ranting. What was it? Shall I go on to an entirely separate rant or stay on point here? Uh, let me keep it brief. Let me keep it brief, and I'll just go back to the gratitude here. And I'll rewatch, and I'll remember what the hell I was trying to think. This is another thing. Also, with all this clarity, the mania has definitely calmed itself down a bit, but sometimes I don't know if it's my age, but it does scare me at times how I'm able to forget things so quickly. That is some I won't deny. Like, what is that? Is that an early sign of something? Is there something already starting to linger for my brain that, I'll forget something in such a small amount of time. If I'm given a task at work by one of my, say, one of my bosses, they'll explain it to me in great detail, and then the moment they stop and I turn around to go start something, I've forgotten everything. I legitimately get a little scared about all the damage I've done. My body is clearly showing me, hey, you've taken this body for granted, which is why I'll have issues like gout, which is why I've had lung surgery in my 20s. Well, that was a kind of a different scenario, but and all the fights and the scraps and the beatings and all the pains and the sores, well, sores that, when I say the soreness from just being an idiot that liked Fight Club and got into mixed martial arts when I was mostly drunk. Yeah, my body is catching up to me, and this is why I need to treat it better. And not just for me, as I've made that very clear, finding a purpose that is either outside of yourself, bigger than yourself, or something that helps you feel love. That is what has me going strong. And thank goodness somebody's texting me. Thank you if you're trying to remind me whatever it was I forgot, but I'm unconcerned. Keep the peels. Good to see you. Hey, blanket hello to you, Cherokee Mammy of 4. Massive welcome. This is a little bit of an unorthodox live stream where I've given a flying fucking shit about YouTube, advertisers, monetization, any of that to the wind, and I just needed to speak plainly without concern about mincing my words or just handling them with kid gloves, so to speak. Sometimes you just need to say what you need to say as bluntly as possible, because if you just pussyfoot it, you're not getting your message across. And sometimes you have to use the strong language to get the emotions across too. And I went on a whole rant about how I think censorship of these huge platforms like YouTube and Facebook, or any of them and all of them, they have too much of a concern of words. See, the critique of people having being overly emotional has impacted billion-dollar companies. And as a result, now we have to be mindful of how we want to share some of the most important things that we have stirring within us. And I will never get on board with that. Another part of me trying to find, how does a man of my age living in an area that's mostly full of retirement homes find camaraderie and making new friends? We're so oversaturated, full of artificial personalities in a world where right now some of the biggest pay-per-view events. This shows you a societal issue we have. Right now, the Paul brothers, Logan Paul, and whatever fighter he's fighting in the box ring that's a mixed martial artist, we are so oversaturated with people wanting to be content creators or influencers. I love content creators. Influencers is a whole other bag. People are paying millions and millions and millions of dollars to just watch some fucking YouTuber that has done nothing but stupid shit, like recording a person that did off themselves and their dead body was in suicide forest in Japan. He recorded that poor soul's body and uploaded it. And this person, like, he's just a villain, and the promotion is just feeding on the hatred that we all see because we cannot escape the algorithms that we live on. The mainstream media has chased us away. Mainstream TV, everything is streaming, everything is the internet, everything is right here. YouTube and every other platform like it. So now people want to see in droves this Logan Paul asshole get his face smashed in. And the whole promotion is two people being absolutely disgusting to one another. And this is, imagine what it's teaching, like, our children. They're watching people getting famous, getting attention by being deplorable and disgusting to one another. The person that Logan Paul is fighting, Dylan Danis or something like that, he has, now they're both pricks. Dylan has attacked Logan Paul's wife and made pictures and memes of calling her terrible things like a whore, saying that everybody in Hollywood has had her, throwing like deep fakes of her having, sexual relations with other celebrities. Like this is what everybody has access to this crap. Okay? And in these shows, these YouTube shows, these podcasts, they're not 18 and over, but this is the content that is available. And now to get even more disturbing, okay? I'm gonna double back from that. So bear that in mind right there. A percentage I learned, okay? Because for whatever reason, I pointed out the over sexualization as a result of the trans movement, right? I point that out quite often on this channel. So some stats that I shared seem to piss off some people. So I learned this though, and I'm going to try to quote as much as I can. Shamrock, this is a video you shared, and I saved it. Thank you for that. That guy that was, he said, no, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't you, Shamrock. It was somebody. It was Sue from Stuck in the Middle's page. So this guy was citing some stats, and he was comparing how. And by the way, look, I'm not a fan of religion, but he was citing how kids are made to be mature over in the Gaza Strip compared to the Western children here, right? So he said, what was it? Did he say 90%? It can't be. I hope I'm wrong. 90% of our children here in America, a study that was done 10 years ago. 10 years ago. So imagine what the numbers are now. Uh, Children are now having their first sexual experiences at 12 years old. 12 years old. And how, and that's true. Look at how when we do these, or not we, but people that get their kids involved in pageantry. Look at the hypersexualization. Uh, Drag queens that go into kindergarten classes and start talking about homosexuality. And look, I have no issue with homosexuality, okay, personally, and I don't have a religion to make me condemn it. But I do not believe it has any place in a child's classroom. I don't think it's necessary. And allowing prepubescent children to choose if they want to keep their genitalia or not. We have oh yeah, non-binary children identifying as non-binary, meaning they won't commit to their gender. They refuse to say I'm a boy or a girl. That's gone up 4,000%. 4,000. That's a real statistic. That's a real stat. So, and when you look at these pageantries, right? It's all like these girls are aspiring to be like Cardi B singing WAP. So yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's that I'm getting old and I look at all these things and I can't help but see why perhaps like this is this why I'm having trouble trying to find people within my age bracket in the 30s. Like I'm looking for people that are around about my age. But like when I go on Facebook, I'm seeing, and this is no slight at women that enjoy their autonomy and they want to make a profit. I live in Florida. Miami is the number one place in the country that has OnlyFans, that makes OnlyFans. I live in the state that has the largest creators of fucking OnlyFans. So what does that tell me about the dating scene? So there's girls, locally that are on my Facebook, right? I check on their my stories and, Jesus Christ, that if I wanted to have a regular conversation about, I don't know, a book or a movie or whatever the case, and I'm not complaining, but this is what I see, and I don't know how to make sense and how to approach somebody like they're sharing pictures of themselves being over completely, absolutely 100%, sexual. And what's crazy though, YouTube and Facebook, I've been going on and on about how they block us using certain words, like for example, talking about suicide, or I shared my friend just posted a picture of her two sons. Okay. They just didn't have a shirt on, two boys, and it said brother, they were hugging each other. That's it. Innocent, innocent. I don't agree with putting all that stuff out there this day and age, but whatever the case, right? She got banned from YouTube, or she got kicked, and she's banned for 30 days for a violation of community services, or I mean, yeah, the community toss, whatever the case. But then all of the girls that are like a lot of the girls or women that are on my friends list, they're literally posting pictures of them clapping their own cheeks. And there's still somehow on pages they're able to get nudity on like, so how and why are these huge platforms blocking certain words because what the words elicit too much of an emotional response. They don't want us to have substantial conversation. They don't want us to have actual connections to one another. But I don't understand how backwards it all is. And this is why I understand why religious people start to preach we're in the end times. I don't like the fear mongering. I disagree with the end times sentimentality. But man, oh man, I feel so alone in a world that's so overly connected to one another. And it's through that oversaturation of connection that we have lost the ability to have our common touch, our simple ability to know thy neighbor, to have a conversation. Everything has been perverted. And I know I'm not alone in this. I just know amongst my more democratic friends to even talk negatively about OnlyFans and women that want to share anything they want to, and I'll never say you can't. Okay, it is not my place to, but I can share my own observations, my own conclusions and opinions. Yeah, I find it challenging to message one of my lady friends that is just trying to sell their bodies 100, like that's all they do all day. And how many people, since Miami is the number one place of OnlyFans in the country, how many of those people, male or female, have given up on any practical life skills? How many people are not going to know how to do some of the most basic shit? They're going to get a ton of money. They're going to get a ton of money, and it's going to go to what? And I'm sure they're living large. They must be doing something right. But what impact is this going to have on us as a species? What is the next generation going to look like? And I am absolutely just nothing short of terrified of seeing a generation that can't even admit to what their gender is by within a ratio of 4,000%. 4,000%. It has gone up where kids just I clearly have a penis, or I definitely have a vagina, but I'm non-binary. So I don't know my gender. I haven't chosen my gender yet. How did this even happen? And then I see the system that we have and the politics. You cannot tell me it has not been politicized and weaponized. and it has made a clear divide. So, if anything, there is a civil conflict going on without a doubt, because there's opposing minds that will never see eye to eye. The people, the a large majority of the lefties I know, or the super lefties, refuse to believe that the the things I'm talking about here are an issue. The over sexualization, the trans movement, and moving the goalpost for rights. They just don't see it. And I get laugh reacts, and one somebody, yeah, screw it, I'll say his name, or maybe the name I'll just call E. His name starts with an E. He did a laugh react, and he conflated the LGBTQ critiques I have with the civil rights movement. That's been the problem from the get-go. This is what the T in LGBTQIA plus GLMNOP SpongeBob. This is the problem, is that the T took over and started speaking for everybody, and now they're making the loudest noise and making the biggest problem. And whatever real progress, whatever real conversations could be had is completely stifled and stopped because of emotions and irrationality and self-righteousness. And I see that, of course, I have to be fair. When I see that on the right side, it usually comes in the form of religion. One of my best friends, a woman I've known since middle school, condemned my soul to hell today. And, that continues to horrify me. Like, I understand if you want to take the stance of that's not very Christian. If you have your faith, what was it she said to me? If we believe and we're wrong, we go in the dirt. But if atheists are wrong, then and I'm just like, why can't you just celebrate your faith instead of trying to use fear as a weapon? And what's the fascination with end times and trying to convince everybody that it's all over? Like we're just looking for the signs. I cannot get on that boat and celebrate finding the signs and the beast, and I get it, man. Things look screwed up and fucked up and weird. We know there's a lot of evil out there in the world, and maybe if God is a way of believing that the good guys win and the bad guys get punished, and that's a soothing idea, I understand it. But going around to people that are not trying to uh, cause any harm or hurt anybody in any way, and saying, your soul, I fear that your soul is going to be condemned and burn in eternal hellfire. Wow, best friend from sixth grade. Thanks. So there is radicalization on both sides. However, no matter what, though, while religion can do some harm, it is a necessary balance at times for when the left's sexualization goes completely bum fucking crazy. In between, somewhere in between the dialogue between the two that just doesn't seem to ever happen meaningfully, somewhere there's got to be a point of understanding to get to common sense and civility. I went on quite a rant here. I've just got so much on my mind, and sometimes it's fucking painful to keep it all up in here. And while I'm battling depression, I'm in a world I don't understand. I don't understand people anymore, and I've been a people for all my life. It's I'm trying to sound ridiculous because it is ridiculous. Maybe I'm gonna start going back to my old neck of the woods over in Davie. Maybe it is as simple as that, just getting somewhere where it's more active, there's more places, and there's younger folks, there's people around my age, and I'll get out of this retirement home area. But is that truly gonna solve the problem of Florida being the number one place where people are just living vicariously and solely on the internet, trying to be influencers and trying to be nothing short of prostitutes? I mean, I I have a lady friend that I've known for many years, and she that's something she did. It started with OnlyFans, and then she took the next step. And I'll never forget. There was another one, another friend of mine. She messaged me, check out how depressing this is, and imagine the kind of damage this can do, and how this will fuck with a man's mentality about dating or anything, right? So this girl, she had a nickname. I'll use her nickname, Peach. No bullshit. She messages me. We used to get along at parties, always have a blast, having intellectual, stimulating conversation. So she reaches out, and I'm like, oh, great, it's fucking Peach, man. She's like, hey, you want some company? And I was like, whoa, that's fucking awesome. Thanks for looking out. You know what? I would absolutely love to hang out. And she goes, okay, how much? And I was like, what? And I remembered she was a prostitute. She wasn't asking to hang out, to socialize, to have a meaningful connection. She wasn't seeking to, I don't know, go out and do something, anything in this grand, beautiful world that is slowly losing the actual substance that has made it special. Or maybe I'm just a pessimist and a cynicist. She was propositioning me, and that was, you know what? It hurt me. It was fucking depressing. It made me immediately depressed. And the fact that I had to respond and say, "I'm sorry, Pete." I didn't say sorry. But basically, I said, Peach, I do not pay for sex. And this is, I'm disappointed. We're still friends on Facebook, but she hasn't messaged me since that. So no question, I fully understand why there's a lot of confused people of every age. But all the damage that just what the internet, what do I blame? The left? What, I don't know where to go or point the finger. I just know that we're not using the power of being connected right. That doesn't, and I'm not the one to condemn anybody, and I'm nobody to say what's right and what's wrong. But I know we could have been doing so much fucking better, and I'm disappointed, and I'm horrified, and I'm uncertain of what the future holds. And I understand why anybody would look at this world from a religious perspective and absolutely think, oh, the end is nigh. Because, by God, look at what we've done with this world. What do we have to show for ourselves? Nothing but confusion and heartache. Then don't get me started on the people that call us constituents, that claim to be elected and chosen, and they don't fear us as they should. We actually fear them, and some assholes, sorry, nope, not assholes, fuck it. Some assholes say, yes, please mandate me, baby. Mandate me. What is that? Is that the equivalent of me being depressed? And because I don't have structure and I do better when somebody tells me the tasks I have at hand at work, is that the same kind of logic that goes into someone that's like, oh, the government wants me to do this, that, and the other and get a fucking vaccine, and they want to shut down my business, and they just want to send me some money while I fucking waste away and lose connection from any sense of community? Fuck yeah. Poke me with all the vaccines, and I'll wear it like a badge, and we'll call it for the greater good. Sorry, everybody that took that route. I I don't mean to sound heavy-handed, but I told you I'm not holding back on this one. That was fucking weak. It was fucking weak. And the fact that you celebrated it and you ostracized and attacked people like me that didn't go along with the fucking status quo and the plan because we saw the data getting manipulated and fucked with time and time again. Sorry, not sorry. For shame on all of the people that got in on that little circle jerk and thought that they were holier than thou because they participated in something that was never that would have been their absolute American right to simply say no. The only problem with all of the mandates and the sacrificing of our rights, and then being happy when they slowly give us back what was always ours to begin with, is the people that continue to comply. You keep showing the government that they can do as they please, they'll never fear us as they should, and we'll never have actual fucking progress. And I still hope, I still believe this next election cycle is the most important election I have personally ever lived through. I just hope they don't fucking rig it again. Yeah, I said that. YouTube, that's how I feel. We know we were fucked. It was so obvious. They did it with Bush and Gore. They did it with Biden and Trump, and fuck saying allegedly. So obvious. It's just insulting that they expected us to play along. It's insulting. Like what takeaway are we supposed to have when we could not, when it was still fresh on everybody's lips and we just got done getting fucking completely, absolutely destroyed. I was gonna use another term. Seedless raped. I don't know. Can I say raped? Sure I can. We got fucking constitutionally raped. Okay, when they, in my opinion, completely stole the election and fucked it up. And then Time Magazine, with their quote unquote, a shadow cabal, ensured the security of our election. What are we supposed to take away from that? And now we're supposed to think that things are going to be different? Well, they damn well better be. I don't know. This is why I understand why a religious person will say the end is nigh, because it sounds like another civil war, or an uprising from man to the government. Has the voter bloc changed? Is it still the elderly? Is it still the elderly? It's not the everyday man that votes. But you know what? That's something people have to address. Yeah, Trump changed that, and Bernie Sanders changed that. Bernie Sanders helped get the youth involved, and so did Trump, though. Trump, those two people that were outside of the mainstream, love them or hate them from any direction, they helped get people more involved. I hope that has carried over. Fast forward to today and everything that matters today. I hope we show that it's impossible to fuck us over again, because we're all very invested and active and willing to have our voices heard and represented by an honest fucking vote. I just don't understand the Electoral College and how super delegates have 10,000 votes worth of power for their one versus, and that the Electoral College, as I understand it, is a Democratic thing. So tell me the DNC is not fucking rigged. All right, I said a lot of things here. I'm 60 years old. Hold on. Since I'm curious, would that be because you've been disenfranchised, as so many of us have felt? We felt that the process is so full of shit that it feels pointless. It feels like a waste of time, which is a damn sad thing. I'm curious, but all right. Let me see. Now Eli has to rap happy birthday for. Oh my God, what? Who's got birthdays? I can't be rapping right now. My birthday will be next week, by the way. I've been organizing a little get together. I somehow got Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I didn't ask for that, but holy shit. Then I have 6 days in a row. What the fuck? But happy birthday to Base Girl and Warrior Mom. I right now I don't have it in me. I'll just say this is a throwback. If you remember the Garfield cartoon from 1992, happy birthday, whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo, have a happy birthday, okay, just for you, just for you. That was lame. That's all I could come with. I just don't have the freestyle ability in this moment as I would normally, but I don't mind acting a fool. All right, so it's not. Yeah, I'm always here for a good rant, and the rant has met its end. A super big fucking thank you. I love cursing. YouTube, if you want to be the most successful platform ever, get rid of the goddamn restrictions, man. And stop showing that you work with the government and that you worry about what the current administration. I saw Fauci back on the fucking TV. You know how goddamn sick to my stomach that made me. And my mother and father were watching that cocksucker. Absolutely fucking deplorable. It was more offensive than Googling Blue Waffle back in the day, or Two Girls One Cup. I would rather watch Two Girls One Cup and look at Blue Waffle images from back in the day before Google caught on, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 15 years, then watch 4 minutes of Fauci getting back on the fucking TV, telling us to watch out for this new variant bullshit. And all the right people are afraid. It's all the people you would suspect. Yep, I hate to always paint it so politically, but it's the Democrats that I work with and my own father. I, I love him forever, and he's my superhero, but he watches the mainstream shit still. They're trying so hard to make us afraid of something that I think failed, and they keep pushing and pushing. They're getting desperate. In their desperation, they're gonna make mistakes, but they're gonna pull something dangerous. And I just don't know to what end. None of us do. So be vigilant. Keep speaking the truth. Show not that you're intimidated. All right, despite everything. Get up on your goddamn platform. Get up on your pedestal, your podium. You speak what you got to speak. You let out what you got to let out. Don't let any form of censorship cr- define how you articulate what it is you want to bring to the surface. Be free by celebrating that very idea. Just just pretend that the freedom that we've been advertised all our lives is real and live accordingly. Hopefully, the powers that be will take notice when we show them that it's us we feel have always had the power, and we do. We got the numbers. We do all the jobs of the power, the rich and powerful that requires this thing to get rolling. And they're slowly segueing us out with AI and automation. Fight your good fight. Fight your fucking fight. That's it. I'll say my good nights, one and all. Base Girl, Shamrock, Warrior Mom, Queen, D Libby. Actions, not distractions. Keep the peels. What did I see about a wedgie? Give him an old man wedgie. He'll check. Angel Wings. Hello, Angel Wings. Warrior Mom. And yeah, that's my core right there. And be conservative. You a G, dog. Don't worry about any of them assholes. Cherokee Mommy of Four. I do appreciate all the new names too. And anybody I've missed, I can't scroll too long. I'm gonna try to take advantage of some of this time. And with that, this is Eli, Progressive Patriot. This is another rant, the Progressive Patriot Maniac Rant. And good night.